Hello everyone, Happy New Year, it's Jack here again for Forbidden Planet TV, and we're back with the new Comic Book Day videos, kicking off 2026 with a host of new comics on the shelf. If you haven't seen the show before, this is me going through all the things I'm picking up off the shelf here at Forbidden Planet this week, what's in my pull list, and flagging a couple bits and pieces I think that are super cool that you should definitely check out. So let's get cracking and see what I'm picking up this week. Kicking off as ever with my ongoing series, we have Amazing Spider-Man issue 19 from Joe Kelly, another brilliant Amazing Visions Liber Mayo cover there, this time showcasing off the Punisher. This reflection thing's great. The reflection thing, it's called a puddle, but you know what I mean, like the use of the reflection is brilliant on the cover. I love it. Liber Mayo, great, always great, doing these Amazing Visions covers. I think there's 12 in total that he's doing for the Spider-Man series, and they've all literally hit the nail on the head perfectly every time, so it's been great getting to see these. And just as exciting are the interiors as well. The series so far has been split in recent issues between Peter lost in space on a massive sci-fi adventure, and then Norman Osborn keeping the illusion of Spider-Man still being on Earth there. This is the finale, I believe, of the space section of the book, as Kelly brings both sides of the series together once more. I don't feel like we get to see Spidey out of his remit all too often, especially in recent series, unless he's like on a big team up book or he's part of the Avengers or in a big event or something like that. So this has been really fun. And as you know, I've been gushing about every single issue when it comes out every 2 weeks. Its consistency has kept me really engaged more than anything. I know what I'm heading in for when I pick up an issue of Kelly's Spider-Man run. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to have a fun time. It doesn't bog itself down too much in lore or worrying too much about continuity amongst other books. It feels very self-contained at the moment and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So yeah, ASM issue 19. Speaking of consistency, another series that I am absolutely adoring is Batman from Matt Fraction and Javier Rodriguez. It feels a lot more tongue-in-cheek than other Batman series of yesteryear, or you know, even of more recently. I think Fraction has been able to find the balance very well of a more serialized, episodic Batman book that has a through line that's intriguing without getting too lost in the world it's building around Bruce. The whole issue here, issue 5, is set around a date, which is great. I love Batman and Catwoman together. I like seeing Bruce with other people. I'm a Mask of the Phantasm fan, okay? I'm excited to see Bruce, more Bruce. The big part of this run that Fraction said before it even began was that it was basically a co-op book. It was not just a Batman book, it's a Batman and a Bruce Wayne book. And we've been having a lot of interactions with Bruce and Bruce's social life and how his time as Batman's impacting that. And I'm all for it. I think those are some of the most interesting moments you get in comic books is with their secret identities. I really enjoy a series that doesn't shy away from engaging with who they are, not just when they've got the mask off, but what they're doing. And Fraction's Batman's doing that perfectly. So yeah, issue number 5. And as always, Tedesco variant. Look at it. Just look at it. Out the park again. And now, unfortunately, a series that I have loved that's coming to an end. The 6th issue and 6th issue miniseries from Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott. Cheetah in Cheshire, Rob, the Justice League, issue 6. It's the end of the series, the heist. You can't say too much about the final issue without spoiling what's come in the previous 5. But the Justice League aren't too happy that they tried to rob the Justice League. Let's put it like that. Let's say that. Cheetah in Cheshire are not in anyone's good books. It's been so joyous. The ensemble in this series, not just Cheetah in Cheshire, but all the other characters, Clarion and all of them have just been so fun to watch, interact with. Rooker's done an amazing job at building out these characters so fast. The dynamic they share with each other has an infectious quality to it that is so fun to read and has made the hijinks of the heist, because that's what it's been. It's been more, as I said very early on, it feels like an Ocean's film. It's so comedic. It's got so much heart in there. There's some wonderful moments with some of the younger characters with Cheetah and Cheshire as they're kind of reflecting on their lives and the paths that they've taken and what they're kind of leading these other characters around them down and this sort of terrible babysitting that they're doing. Yeah, it's been a great laugh. I highly recommend the series. If you've been reading it already, you know how much fun it's been. And if you haven't had the chance to pick any of it up yet, do pick up the graphic novel when it's available, because this is one of those series that I think is going to be on the shelf for a good long time. As a great almost pit stop in your reading journey to just dive into these DC characters and have a good old time, and that is a great thing to have on the shelf. Probably my favourite book on the shelf at the moment is Rick Remender and Daniel Acuna's Escape. This gritty war epic. It's so heart-wrenching at times seeing Milton, our protagonist, having to face the consequences of the war he's fighting and of the beliefs he holds so strongly being challenged by the reality of those living under the occupation of Narina, I believe it is, where he's bombed, where his mission has taken him, and where he now finds himself lost and reliant on the assistance of locals, of those who too are scared and afraid of these occupying forces. And I think this issue is going to give us a bit more insight into the way that force operates, how this antagonist to Milton, how the other side fight their battles. And I'm as terrified as I am excited to see Remender and Acuna tackle the Nainians, these bat-like creatures that are filling the role of the other side. Yeah, I can't recommend this book enough. They've done second and third printings. There might even be a fourth printing of issue 1. Definitely pick it up. Definitely find some copies, start reading it, get on board. It is one of the best books that started last year. If it continues on pace, it'll be one of the best books of this year as well. I have fallen head over heels in love with it and with the severity of it. And yeah, I can't talk more highly enough about it. Escape, issue 5. Moving on to the number ones I'm picking up off the shelf this week, and a series that, much like Cheer in Cheshire, I think is going to be a lot of fun. We have Hank Howard Pizza Detective, The Two Hollywoods, issue 1 from Bad Idea. Robert Venditti and David Lapham are doing a pulp noir parody almost, I think, from what I've seen in the previews and what I'm gathering. It looks as hard-boiled as it comes, and I think it's going to be full of loads of cheesy, silly narration and character interactions. I can't attest yet how good a detective Hank Howard, the pizza detective, currently is, but I'm looking forward to finding out. Bad Idea have a smattering of books out at the moment that cover an array of genres and types. And they've been working with some brilliant artists and writers, and it's fun to see them add a little drop of humour in here. I think it'll still be pretty dark. I think, Bad Idea aren't an all ages kind of publisher, but I reckon there's going to be a great sprinkle of humour into what is otherwise a gritty detective book. So I'm really looking forward to trying out Hank Howard. Also, he's a pizza detective. A great name. Another one-shot in the Absolute Universe, uncovering even more secrets about what lies in store for this version of Batman, as we have Absolute Batman Arkham, going into the history of the institution Arkham that Batman spent a lot of time with, deep in the heart of Gotham. The dastardly machinations and evil experiments going on in the Arkham, the history of that foundation is revealed here, and I think we're going to be seeing a couple new characters whose impact on the book are going to reverberate much further down the line. So if you are reading Absolute Batman, you definitely want to check out Arkham and make sure that you don't miss a single nugget of detail as Scott Snyder and a host of other creators are building out the world and the absolute Gotham and the upcoming trials and tribulations for Bruce Wayne. So yeah, Arkham. Finally, for my regular issues, it's actually an issue 3 I'm picking up off the shelf this week, and it's from the Twilight Zone. The new iteration of the Twilight Zone from IDW has given each issue to a different creative team so they can add to the deep well of Twilight Zone stories, and this issue 3 is unlike anything else. And why I'm picking it up, James Stokoe is doing a one-shot. It's called The Relic. The story is called The Relic, and it's a massive amalgamation between kingly knight warfare and American commercialism. It's going to be wild. Stokoe is known and renowned for his insanely detailed art. He also has Orphan and the Five Beasts, the sequel series, on the shelf this week as well. The guy clearly is not taking a rest, which is fantastic because all the bits and pieces he's throwing out there are hitting the nail on the head every single time. And his art is just phenomenal. I'll throw some up on the screen now. He's a master at detail and gore and energy, and I can't wait to see a bunch of knights going up against walls of Tommy guns dealing with all the violence that entails. So yeah, if you want to just dip your toe into the Twilight Zone, or if you've been picking up the series already, I think James Stokoe's book is definitely not going to be one to be missed. And last but by no means least, ahead of the next DC Marvel collaboration book that's coming out in March, where we have Superman and Spider-Man once again returning to the pages, sharing some panels, DC and Marvel have reprinted the original Superman and the Amazing Spider-Man Treasury Edition. The very first time these characters ever interacted is now available once again, as it was, reprinted in beautiful, beautiful newspaper print. I love the smell of newspaper print. I'm sorry, I absolutely adore that smell. It's class. But yes, this full-scale facsimile edition reprints the first time that Wallcrawler and the Man of Steel ever collaborated. This milestone in comic book history. If you aren't lucky enough to own an original copy, I know I'm not. I know Vic, the manager here at Camden, is. Thanks, Vic. It's such a special book and is a must-have for any collector. Just being able to have a copy in full scale, even though it's a reprint, even though it's facsimile, I've said before, I absolutely love facsimiles. They're such a great way to get classic stories in the right medium into people's hands, in as close to the original form as we can get without spending an absolute bomb. And I will gladly have this on my shelf, even past the point of finally owning an original copy, because these are so great to share out and pass around and to let people flick through, and just to get to see all the effort and all the love that goes into making stories like this, and why we should be so excited about the upcoming Superman Spider-Man crossover as well. You can pre-order that already at forbiddenplanet.com. All the different covers are available on our website, or you can get it added to your select service at your local FP as well. That's coming out in March. But before that, make sure you pick up this facsimile edition of the first Treasury. And the second crossover is also getting its own facsimile in a couple of weeks' time as well. So I'll definitely be talking about that when it hits the shelf. A gargantuan week to kick off 2026. There's so much to look forward to this year. There's been some amazing projects announced already. Some Marvel and Kiyoshi are doing some work together. We got some new manga translations from Smudge Comics, from Ryan Holmberg coming out later down the line. Some dark, twisted pulp manga I can't wait for. The Absolute Universe, as we've seen already, just keeps getting bigger and better. We've got more crossovers with Marvel and DC. There are some brilliant independent projects coming out of publishers like Boom and Image and Bad Idea, who are knocking it out the park. We've got some series that haven't finished that started last year that are continuing. The X-Men have got a massive reboot this year. Well, not a reboot, it's kind of like the new age within the new age. Again, Shadows of Tomorrow, which kicks off with Wolverine this week. And we've got Cyclops coming out very soon as well. I actually have the chance to chat with Alex Packnadell and have a little interview with him. So that'll be coming out very soon, where we can talk all things Cyclops and how excited we are for the new run of X-Men books as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yes, there is so much to get excited for in 2026 in comics. I hope you're as looking forward to it as I am, as you can tell from my beaming smile. It's so great to be back here in Camden chatting comics with everybody, and I look forward to seeing all of you in store, all of my locals who will be adding to their select service. Definitely head to your local Forbidden Planet as well. As always, chat to the staff, get recommendations, see what you've all been picking up over Christmas. What graphic novels did you get from your family members? Which comics did you treat yourself to? So you had an excuse to sneak away from all the socialising you've had to do with all your family. It's great to hear what you're picking up as well, and for us, the staff, to get some recommendations from yourselves, because that way we all expand our reading, expand our minds, and we will pick up some new bits and pieces that we get to fall in love with. So as ever, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week for a host of new comics. Cheers.
If you're enjoying watching Forbidden Planet TV and you're enjoying watching us talk to the world's most interesting and accomplished filmmakers, authors, artists, musicians, creators, subscribe right here. See you soon.